Hey guys, so what I have for you here today is an update video on the Ego blower. And this is the Ego blower model number LB4800. So this is the 480 CFM blower that we put the cheap BLDC controller in. I also have my 530 CFM to compare to that was bought new, and it still has given me no issues. I've had it over 3 years now. And I also have another 480 CFM blower that I did repair the controller in this one. I didn't do the video on this as mentioned before because I did a 14-inch chainsaw repair, and the controllers were so similar that the repair is very similar to that 14-inch chainsaw repair. And I also did a troubleshooting and fault finding video on this one before we actually put the cheaper BLDC in it to run it. So that one really wasn't worth repairing, so we tried something different. These blowers, when I bought them, I didn't get either one of them with the tube, so it's a makeshift tube here. This is nothing but it's nothing but some throwaway canisters, some candy canisters that I just stuck together and painted over. I have to add a little bit of weather stripping, which is a little bit too thick, just to help it stay on, fit tight. And then of course the ring that was on the lid of these, they just they're bottom to bottom slid up after I cut the bottom off. Yeah, I'm a cheapskate. These are like 20 bucks on eBay, but they're not cheap enough for me to buy one. On something that I paid 20 to 30 bucks for to repair, I'm not gonna pay 20 bucks for the tube. I'm just not gonna do it. I don't really need the tube. This thing blows so well, as you'll see. I've used it for months without the tube at all. And then of course I just made a makeshift tube for it that works pretty well. What? These things are great. Don't judge. So I just wanted to do a really just an update video on this. It has given me no issues so far, but I have a fully charged battery in all three. One thing that won't be real fair with this test, and this one's gonna knock the socks off of them every time, is this one don't have a softer startup as the factory ones do. Open into a turbo. And that's all the way down. All the way up. Now for the test, just to see how far it'll blow it. Coming on turbo, which this is a softer start, so it's not going to be a good comparison. It definitely starts off blowing a little harder, even though this tube opening is not exactly the same. And whether I mentioned it or not, I don't know, but yeah, the newer 530 CFM will not fit the 480. But we can do it similar to this. So this will be a little bit better comparison. And that's a big difference. So one more time here with the 530 tube on the 480 with the modified BLDC that does run a lot hotter, by the way. pretty big difference. We should have really good low end control with this one as well, because I actually have this potentiometer dial really low on this one, as long as I don't hit the turbo button. This 480 CFM is much hotter than even the 530 from the factory. But since we did put the heat sink and cooling in through the airflow, I think the BLDC controller is going to hold up nicely. Turbo wise. I did do a RPM check on these, and this one is about 2,000 higher RPM than even my 530. So if you calculate it out, I believe this was putting out about 540 CFM. And if we compare that to just the repaired 480 with the original factory controller, just repaired with the onboard fuse replaced and 2 MOSFETs replaced. Again, similar to the 14-inch chainsaw repair. You see that soft start on it? It is nice. Just see how far to blast with the turbo button. Real similar to the 530. Really just because of that soft start. So back to our modified 480, which I believe now is a 540 or 550 CFM on calculation. We don't have near the soft start, so it just comes out of the gate that much quicker. So I hadn't even tried this yet to see how well it works. But I have a larger ball here. Just wanted it to even get it off the tube at all. We'll see if this tapered, better design or factory design tube here does any better with the more closed or narrowed down nozzle. Let's just put this one on the repaired or the modified blower. See how it does with this one. I actually had no idea if it moved the big ball or not. I didn't buy any lighter balls just for this. Me and my son have always thought it was neat to play with these, but never really grabbed a bigger one till now. Compare now to the factory 480. Not expecting that much difference, to be honest with you. I'm just going to make sure the nozzle is seated good and try it again. I'm trying to get it as straight as possible. It don't slide on there well. That's all it's going to do. That is it. This modifier will kick's butt. That is quite a big difference, honestly. Let me go back to this one more time. This one actually has the better seal and everything. This one's definitely got the advantage with the nozzle designed for it. I think it does take the cake. I think it does win. But anyway, I just wanted to have a little bit of fun today and talk just a little bit just how well this one has held up. This, of course, being the one that I did modify. It's got the speed control and the airflow there, but we're very possibly overdriving the controller and the BLDC as well. The good news is they both have tremendous amounts of airflow when they are run under that loaded condition. So I did it more as a test than as an absolute fix. But I have been very, very pleased at how well that it's held up. So I just wanted to share this video. It's been over a year since I put this BLDC controller in here and modified this one to get it working. I bought a non-working unit, as mentioned in that video, putting the cheap BLDC controller in it, and it's just held up well. I believe that can be a game changer on some things that is just throw away or just a part out, and maybe keep something from the landfill that's got a lot of good life left in it. So remember, we did put 63 volt caps on the board. I have also had one of these BLDC drivers, the flyback diode, did short on it because it's trying to quench that load. The only failure I had was the very first controller that I didn't put the 63 volt cap on. And after I replaced that 63 volt cap on the bus, it eliminated that issue. It was the only component not rated, for the full voltage of the battery, being a 50 volt rated cap. And then I replaced that diode with a beefier diode. Now this controller, I have not replaced the diode on. So it is, other than the 63 volt input cap, it is as I bought it. But I've used these controllers on many, many projects. Some I've done videos on and some I just haven't yet. But I've used those little controls on a lot of things. And one of them, as I mentioned, that flyback diode, it did short out on the DC bus. And I had to just replace it with a beefier diode, and I've had no issues with it at all. It still runs. I mentioned something very similar to that on a little rigid jigsaw that I put a cheap BLDC in it for a brushless motor. And I mentioned that diode may give you trouble because sometimes they do start and stop in the high current demands like that. So I hope you liked this video today. Just doing an update on the cheap BLDC driver. It's actually working better than I even thought it would have. Please comment below if it helps you, or what are your thoughts about this BLDC controller. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Let me know if it's helped you as well. And if you found the video helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching.